The show where there are no penalties, nothing is offside, and everything is fair game. This is The Gloves Are Off.
Hello and welcome to the set of The Gloves Are Off. I am your host, Carly Agro. Brian Curran, you're almost done training camp.
Yeah, but I got the hardest part coming up.
Yeah.
You know, we've got 37 players, and we got to get down to 25 by the weekend.
Wow,
So
that's not easy.
these are the tough cuts coming up.
They are. All right, and dropping the gloves against you today, someone that you're a little familiar with on the ice.
He loves me.
Yeah, Dion Pollarder's here now. We were going to call you Neon Dion, but we should probably tell everyone what you really do, so please explain.
I'm the chairman for the Northeast Zone Referees Association, so administratively I do the work there, and I'm also an official myself, as Brian very well knows.
So you're fairly familiar with the Wrath of the Colonel?
We've had our moments, yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right, well hopefully we have a few more
He
of those
doesn't put
moments.
up with me.
He doesn't what?
He doesn't put up with me. I don't
Oh,
know.
you're not the only one.
Yes.
There you go. All right, well, we're going to get started here with dump and change. Now, how this works is if you do not like one of the topics, each of you has one dump. So you can dump it and change it and move on to the next one. But first up, I wanted to talk, I call this one prefect. Preseason and perfect, because things have gone very well. I'm saying it. Should I knock on wood? There you go. Very good preseason so far. Undefeated Bobcats team.
Well, I mean, for everybody else, it's great. I mean, for our new community, for the new ownership, Friends of the Bobcats, it's great to have them get excited and the community get excited. And obviously, by our first game where we had over 600 people, and then our last game probably 400 people for exhibition, we've never had those kind of numbers.
Yeah.
So the excitement is building through the community, but in the reality of everything is, I just look at it as it's exhibition. It's nice to get the confidence for the young players and the veterans to work on your game, but in the end of the day is when day one opens and you're playing Bonneville. If we continue to go undefeated, I'd be the happiest camper in the world. But
there you go.
That's not a reality right now.
Well, Dan, have you had a chance to check out some of the preseason action at the Civic Center?
Yeah, I did watch the first game against Bonneville.
Yeah.
I was quite impressed. There was a lot of young guys on the ice for both teams, but yeah, it was a good game.
It was like watching paint dry the first period.
Well,
Come on.
Jeez.
It was a horrible period. I told our boys after the first
Really?
period, I'm like, guys, you played better in the top 40 than we're playing tonight. And then they loosened up in the second period.
And they kinda
were
got
just
their groove
nervous.
back.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
yeah,
all
yeah.
rookies
Oh, I
for both
understand.
Bonneville and us.
Okay, let's get down to this roster. Let's talk about this a little more. Because what are you at right now?
37, I think.
And you've got to get down to
25.
by when?
Well, by the 8th.
That's the absolute.
I can't have more than 25 on my HCR, so.
Okay, now last season, and Dion, you know, you're an active member in the community, and you probably remember, there were more than one occasion, I feel like, where we had to say to you, hey, Brian, it looks like the kids are gripping the sticks too tight. Scoring's a little bit of an issue. Again, I will knock on wood. Doesn't really seem to be an issue right now. What is it that you think has been the difference in all the goal scoring? Is it just because it's the preseason?
No, we talked about this. Compared to last year's camp to this year's camp, we don't have any like real top end, like high end scoring forward. What we do is that we have a much higher plane of ability.
Okay.
And
So all around ability?
yeah, just a lot more. We have some guys that have a lot more skill than we had last year. So we're talking probably 4 or 5 players that we're potentially adding that are definitely got more offensive skill. And if we can keep our numbers where we were last year defensively and boost our offensive numbers, which were only 2.57 or whatever it was, and we allowed 2.76, so we had a lot of one-goal games. But now with this offense, I saw things on the last game that we didn't do last year. I mean, that's just players that just have the ability to do that.
Put the puck in the net.
That and touch with passing and
Okay.
seeing the ice. It's just better.
Is that exciting though, as somebody in the crowd?
Oh, absolutely. It's anytime you score more goals, it's a more offensive game. It's a better hockey game. The one thing I noticed with the Bobcats and Bonneville, who we do in the last couple of years, is both teams work real hard, and so they're a lot more grinders. They work harder than they have in the past, and so that's why they're in a lot more hockey games than they have in the past 10 years. So anytime there's more goals, it's good for it's a better hockey game for the fans, better for the officials, better for everybody.
Now, I took in my first game at the Civic Center on Saturday, and I was blown away by the renovations and all the new finishing touches. It looks fantastic, but one of the things I couldn't help but notice, the blackout curtain there on, you know, when you're sitting in the stands, well, to me, it was to my right there. What is your take on this as an official? Is it going to be that much more challenging to track the puck when it gets sent down to that? And does it change game plan and strategy for you, Brian? Like, maybe let's go from the officials' perspective first.
Talking to the officials after the game, the first game on Wednesday night, they did say it was tough to pick up the puck at times. They did say that going into that end. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I've been told they're going to paint. There's going to be some logos and stuff on there.
It's not going to stay that way?
Oh, God, no. I think when it gets unveiled, and we can't talk anymore about it. It's
so there's some rumblings that we can't reveal?
Oh, it's going to be something incredibly spectacular to look at. I mean, I've seen what it's going to look like, and it will definitely lighten up.
Okay.
To back it.
It will lighten up. That's
not to the point where it's going to be such a neon type thing. But to the point where it won't be black. It'll be multiple colors.
It's interesting, though, that you say that there were comments about it, that it was. So do you know when it's going to be lifted and when it won't be there by?
That's a big surprise, apparently, according to the board. So, you know.
Big surprise.
Wow. I think even when it gets done, they're going to cover it.
Oh, interesting.
See, I leave you with pondering that question.
I know, it's like a riddle. Okay, well, we will ponder it a little bit more, but we do have to take a break. But stay tuned. There's more Dump and Change when we return on The Gloves Are Off.